Troublesome. From the day you started the academy in Konoha, you had been Shikamaru's friend. It all started on the first day with your cute little outfit and your styled hair-colored hair. Everyone seemed to be getting along, though it wasn't a surprise. Most of them had been in the same preschool class. You, on the other hand, had just moved from the land of the wind after it was destroyed. So you awkwardly looked around the room, biting your lip as you tried to look for an open seat. Finally, you noticed there was one next to a boy with a spiky man bun. Beside him, to his left, was another boy who was a bit chubby. Walking over to them, you put on a smile. "Hello," you called out to the two of them, who turned their heads toward you. Who are you?" the more chubby boy said, the other nodding in agreement. "I don't think we've seen you here before." The brunette guy spoke up, playing with some of your hair. You looked down at the floor. "I just moved here, so of course you guys don't know. I'm Wayne Ellen," you said, those eye-colored eyes of yours looking back at them. "Who are you?" you asked while sitting down in the seat next to them. "He's Choji Akamichi. I'm Shikamaru Nara," Shikamaru said, giving your smile another one back to you. Nodding, you opened your mouth to talk to them again, only for the ringing of a little silver bell to chime in loudly. "Let's get started. I am F쏘ɪｒղɪᴄ Lɪନିର୍ධ, your new sensei." But now it seemed like you and him were simply enemies. As you left Tsunade's office, you looked at your teammates, now Chunins. You had more and more exhausting missions. Your two other teammates were sweaty and tired. You, on the other hand, barely were sweating. Was it because perhaps it was all too easy for you? "Man, I can't take all these ranked missions," one of your teammates, Hiraki, mumbled as she was looking down to the ground. The other one, Katsu, nodded in agreement. Rolling your eyes, you cracked your knuckles. "This is nothing," you said, smirking slightly. "After all, everyone else is getting missions like us." "Like Shikamaru?" Katsu asked, causing you to glare at him as you felt the ever so little heat on your cheeks. "Shut up, cat," you hissed. Indeed, almost everyone knew the rivalry going on between you and Shikamaru. Each time you saw each other, it seemed like it was always the same. Arguing, fighting, challenging each other. It was like you were a whole new person. Why did it all start? How did you go from being close friends to the rivalry you have now? "Shikamaru!" you called out to him with your smile. He was just laying down in a grass field, staring up at the sky. He seemed like he was thinking. His eyes looked over at you, his cheek slowly becoming red. "Why are you here?" he asked in an almost annoyed tone. Sitting down next to him, you began playing with his hair. "What do you mean? You know I like hanging out with you after missions," you said, only for him to sit up and back away. Shikamaru glared at you, clenching his fists. "Then stop it," he said, causing your heart to stop beating. "Shikamaru? Why?" you asked, glaring back at him. "I feel sick around you, so just stay away from me, because you're the only one making it worse," he said, walking away. You and your furious self ran after him, grabbing his arm. "I can't possibly make you sick, not unless I have some sickness," you exclaimed. Shikamaru's face began to become more red as he stared at your hand, grabbing his arm, pulling it away. "You probably do," he said, continuing to walk away, and that time you didn't stop him. Tsunade had ordered Shikamaru and several other jonin to come to her office. It seemed quite urgent and serious. So the usually lazy teen hurried quickly. As he was walking toward there, he noticed Wayne walking out of her office, his heartbeat picking up. Why would he feel so odd around them? Each time they would be near him, he could feel those odd goosebumps on his skin. Every time they smiled at another man or person, it would make him upset. The heat that would rush toward his cheeks. Why did they have to be so troublesome? "Shikamaru," Asuma said behind him, causing him to snap out of his haze. He said, looking over at him. "Focus on the mission," he said, showing his usual small smile. He said, frowning. They were always troublesome. Word got around that Asuma Sarutobi died. Everyone was devastated, and his funeral was going to be in the afternoon. You knew Shikamaru would be very upset. Hell, that wasn't even enough to express it. Because you used to be his friend, you were concerned for him, no matter how much he hated you, no matter how much he wanted to be far away from you. You cared for him. Walking towards his house, you were nervous. Would he only shun you down because you were someone he hated? How would you even talk to him? Gulping, you stood in front of the Nara's residence door, knocking on it loudly. You could hear the muffled footsteps behind the door as you waited. The door opened to reveal Mr. Nara, also known as Tsunade's strategist. Good morning, Mr. Nara, you said with a small smile. "When? You haven't been coming here for around 3 months. Shikaku said, raising an eyebrow. I know, but I wanted to talk with your son. I know he's having a hard time," you said. The man nodded before hesitantly opening the door. "Don't be surprised if he shuns you out," he said as you walked past him. Glancing back at him, you nodded. Continuing to go further, you check his room. He wasn't there, so then you tried his other favorite's place. It was where he, Asuma, and sometimes his father would play shogi. It was a simple, blank room. Sliding the door open, your eyes widened to see Shikamaru laying on the floor, pieces of the shogi players scattered. He looked like he was sleeping. You walked over to him, bending down to see his face closer. He slept so peacefully. Eyes widening, you looked away from him. Instead, you cleaned the room for him. Once it was all done, one last time you looked over at him. "I'm sorry, Shikamaru," you whispered before leaving the room. It took Shikamaru a while to feel like his regular self again, but some things changed. He began to talk to you more. He was healing through you. At the moment, you were sitting next to him, staring up at the clouds. "Shikamaru," you said, looking over at him. His dark eyes looked over at you as he frowned. He asked, raising an eyebrow. "Why, for the longest time, why did you hate me? Why did you become my ex-best friend?" you asked, raising an eyebrow as you hugged your knees to your chest. His eyes widened, the heat on his cheeks heating up. He remembered the last words he told Azuma. What his last words were, that were slowly making him realize something. Shikamaru bit the inside of his cheek as he stared at you. "You're so troublesome," he mumbled, looking away from you. Clearly you weren't going to accept that, so you glared at him. "Please don't act like this, Shika," you exclaimed softly, pouting. He smiled as he looked back at you. "Do you know who the king of Konoha is?" he asked you, making you frown. "The Hokage, who else?" you said, seeing his smirk as he shook his head. "Then you probably don't know who the queen is," he said, Rolling your eyes, you laughed. Shikamaru, we all know it would be his wife then, you exclaimed. He sighed quietly. It was quite hard to give you a hint. As you looked back up at the clouds, you felt someone's breath against your neck, your cheeks flaring up. You knew it was Shikamaru. Shika, you were saying, only for him to shush you. You're the queen, Hwaiyan. You're my queen. Shikamaru said, placing his lips on your neck, causing you to have a shaky breath. I don't understand, you whispered. He stopped kissing your neck, his hands moving your face to look at him. I told you you were troublesome, he said, chuckling at your flustered state. I mean, I love you, he said, his face going serious. You didn't reply before kissing him back passionately, using your body to slam him into the ground, pinning him down. He groaned, not expecting you to behave in such a manner. He quickly kissed you back, his hands roaming your body. After a couple of minutes of love bites and such, both of you released the kiss, laying next to each other, your chest rising up and down at a fast pace. Then I don't understand why you acted like that, Shika, you said, panting loudly. He laughed, placing his arms behind his head. I was afraid that you didn't love me back, so I tried to ignore you and learn to get over you, he said, causing you to pout. You know, I bet you couldn't, 'cause I'm too awesome. You purred to him, causing Shikamaru to snicker. Stop being so troublesome, Hwaiyan, Shikamaru said, causing you to giggle. God, they're so cute. Yo, hey everyone, so hopefully I'm back. I will not get home tomorrow early because I have tutoring after school. It's my job, so that's my other job. This is my first one, that's my other one. I love doing both though, so it's technically not like a job, it's kind of just like my hobby or whatever, but yeah, so somebody asked for me to do another Shikamaru one, so here it is. I'm gonna like go back and do like the requests that I had gotten earlier, but you know, feel free to leave some requests in the comments below, and I'll check them out and add them to my list. Anyways, that's all I have for you today, guys. Have an amazing day, have an amazing night, have an amazing afternoon, whenever you are, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.